What is SMP? A scalp micropigmentation. It's a treatment that was created to help the people to create much more density when it comes to any exist result, whether you're totally bald or you have had a hair transplant, head injuries, alopecia, spots alopecia. So that's the right treatment that has been created for those who really wants to change their lives and they are looking for an easy solution that can help them to have their confidence back, as well as can help them to add value for whatever exists or left hair on their head. What about the risk factor, guys? Like, Dale, what is the risk factor? Most of the people have concern about it.
See, most of the risk factors associated with that one is just to minimal infection or inflammation, as I again told you, if the client is not really participating enough. And also, rare cases of, pigment irritation or allergic reactions. All the risk factors associated with SMP, it can be managed and prevented, most especially if you are, getting it done by a licensed and educated practitioner.
Yeah,
By means,
agree.
what I say is because when you are educated and licensed, that it means you follow the highest standards for hygiene protocol.
Yeah.
You only use like sanitized tools and needles, as well as your inks, are all certified for the government health authority. So by that, you probably make it even to 0.1%.
Yeah.
So all of it is like really controlled. So that's why it's the best out there.
How important is to stick with the advices that we really give you all the time before your treatment?
First of all, before 24 hours, we advise our client not to do tanning or caffeine, alcohol, and take good rest.
From a medical perspective, why do we advise that, Dale?
Well, see, because when you are intoxicated with alcohol or with caffeine or any like blood thinning like aspirin medications, so it thins the blood as it's defined, and it makes it more hard or difficult during the process, to reduce like swelling or bleeding. And we also advise them to not go too much with activities. We want them to have like full rest. And actually, the most important advice that I would add is hydration, because hydration is the most important thing for the skin integrity. So at least also when the pigment will subside, it will be as perfect as it is. When we do our part in giving the result, it's always the part of the clients to be very strict on themselves in order for them to enjoy, make the service more like pleasing, because if you have full rest, you have light meal as what we send to our full guidelines, it will make the process more smoother.
Now we have a lot of people also have a question, guys, like most of the time, is it going to be too long for me to recover and go back to my normal life? How long I have to stay on the bed? Those kind of very important question for the one who's watching us, like what we can answer them, how we can help them.
So for people who just finished doing their SMP with us, so we usually send them a proper detailed guideline on how they can manage it, since it's very important, for the recovery and the progress. So what we advise usually is on the first 3 days, this is the most crucial one, because they need to maintain from touching, scratching, or any sort on the scalp. So they're not allowed to do any strenuous activity, because this could lead for more like blood circulation and can open the wound, damage to the pigmentation or the healing, as well as you're not allowed to do any sort of like going to the beach or any UV rays activity, because again, your skin is still on recovery stage. Only on the 4th day to the 5th at maximum, by then you can gently like wash your scalp, because you need to have the flaking on a natural way. You don't need to push it, because by then you might cause like open for inflammation and infection, which is like an open wound,
Yeah.
So that's why I would not advise people to keep on continuing their normal activity until the 7th to 8th day, because you need to check yourself. You need to check if the wound is
logically, yes. Logically, you really have to always look after yourself and try to have an analyzing day-to-day basis. But again, within the moment that you leave the place after your treatment finish, you can go mind your own business. Absolutely does not look horrible, and you don't have to cover your head. You can go to your meeting, you can do whatever you want, but you have to avoid those kind of sunlight, as well as the extra shampooing or whatever cleansing that you're using. You have to avoid touching your head basically. But yes, it's not a treatment that once you get it done, then you would have to stay on the bed for 1 month or covering yourself. You can go mind your own business next day, avoiding that little activity for 48 hours, 72 hours. Then after that, you're going to be relaxed.